If you are in the world of polyamory, metamours matter, even if you're not in a relationship with them. So, what is a metamour? It is your partner's partner who you are not romantically connected to. Metamours are an integral aspect of a polyamorous relationship. Even if you're not close to your metamour, you're still connected because of your partner. One of the beautiful things about metamour relationship is that it's on a spectrum. On one hand, it can be really close, and on the other hand, it can be really private. And this video is going to focus on all things metamour. But before we begin, if you found this conversation is helpful to you, subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification. I post weekly videos about relationships, intimacy, and navigating non-traditional dynamics with depth and nuance, something you might not see on social media. There are three models of metamours that is very common within the CNN world, and you start with kitchen table poly. As you can imagine, it's the partners and partner's partner coming together, and they're typically close and want to be involved in each other's lives. People reach for kitchen table poly when you have alignments in your personality. Everyone feels comfortable and in respecting each other, as well as no one feels forced. Then you have a parallel poly where you have two relationships that is happening parallel to each other, but they do not converge, meaning that there's minimal interactions. People reach for parallel poly when they notice that there is some jealousy sensitivity, that the personalities with the metamours are a bit clashing, and there's only emotional bandwidth for one partner at a time. And then right slap dab in the middle is the third model, which is called garden party poly. So this is somewhere in the middle of these two, the kitchen table poly and the parallel poly. The thing to know about these type of models is that there's no one that's more superior than the other. If you think about what is involved in the different types of model of structure of poly, is that you will notice that it's based on your personal comfortability and your desire to be either close with metamours or not. There is no judgment if you notice that you're not wanting to meet your metamours, and that's okay too. Here are 4 common metamour conflicts that you might happen upon and how to learn from it. The first one is information boundary violation. What that means is that you have disclosed sexual information, emotional experiences, as well as maybe even trauma. If you shared it with one partner, but you did not share it with the metamour, then that's a violation. It should be kept between you and the person that you shared it with. The second type of conflict is comparison exposure. What I mean by that is that you are using language where you're describing one person's sex is better or worse, that their performance is better than the other, or that you are comparing lifestyle, how big the house is, or career compared to the other partner. You can go to my earlier video about how to deal with jealousy should this be happening. The third common mistake that metamours make is triangulation. So picture this. You and your partner are having a conflict about how the dishes should be done. And in that moment, your partner decides to say, you know what, my metamour and I also agree that you haven't been doing your part. That is called triangulation. When you pit two people against one person, it forms a triangle if you look at it. And all this does is that now it becomes us against you, a team against that one person. If you need a conversation, it is better to have it with everyone involved versus it being a telephone game. The fourth common metamour conflict is time and attention anxiety. What I mean by that is that you and your partner might have certain traditions, certain schedules, certain events that you are expecting each other to be. And when your partner is in a new relationship with their metamour, it can be a state of conflict, and you might end up feeling really threatened. And so there's going to be maybe potential conflicts around, hey, this is our thing. We're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z together. When these topics show up and not addressed, it can create a hell of a issue in your relationships. So what is the antidote to all these conflicts with your partner and metamours? It is to create boundaries. Boundaries are an integral aspect of any healthy relationship, and that it also includes your partner's partner. So, walking in already into a polyamory relationship, you and your partner needs to already be talking about boundaries. But then, what are some of the extended boundaries that needs to be established with your metamour? There are 4 domains of boundaries that you need to be considering. The first one, contact boundaries. And how can I more actually contact you? What platforms are they allowed to reach you at? How much direct contact is needed or is allowed? Information boundary, what stays between us versus what can be shared with your metamour. And this is really important when it comes to some of the more deeper, intimate aspects of your relationship, whether it be secrets that you held together, childhood stuff, sexual experiences. There needs to be information limitations to what can be shared with your metamour. Space boundaries. How much can your metamour be in the same space as you? That includes home access, your home alarm system, keys to the house. How do you both share the same space? And the final boundary is the decision boundary. Who can make the decision? Who gets veto right? Who gets input on decision? All of these things, when talked about in advance, agreed upon, and implemented in a consistent way, creates a beautifully boundaried relationship where even if you don't have a direct relationship with your metamour, they understand the arena that you're walking into. If you want to go deeper, go to my website at intimacyinprogress.com, where you will find therapeutic services and relationship tools. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on future conversations like this.